Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 6 now. Today, I figured I'd take a look at another car that came from the Turn 10 Select car pack that recently came out. This is the Fiat 124 Spider, and while many people probably weren't best impressed when this car came into the game, me as a huge Fiat fan, I was quite impressed. I kind of like the 124 Spider. It's a pretty cool looking car. Anyways, I figured of course I would need to build this car at some point, and well, I've decided to do it a bit differently today. Instead of going for what I usually do, which is build the car up to D class or C class with the purpose of going racing, I'm instead just going to try and evolve this car. So I'm calling this the Fiat 124 Evolution build. Because right now, 8.9 seconds to 60, top speed of 110 miles an hour, isn't great. But what if this car was to be rejuvenated for a modern audience? And that's sort of what I'm going to be looking at today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to supercharge this engine. Now, it doesn't actually give us that much more power. However, it does reduce the 0 to 60 time quite significantly by the looks of it. Yeah, by 1.2 seconds. So we are going to go for that. Of course, I'm a huge fan of supercharging, so that's definitely what I want to go with. Just in case you're wondering, the engine swaps is the usual stuff you get in these sort of older roadsters. You get a 2-litre VTEC unit, a 3.7-litre V6, and the 3-litre V8 racing engine from the Ariel Atom V8. So, there you go. Anyways, as far as aero goes, well, I'm just going to keep it the way I've got it now. I actually took both bits of sort of safety bumper off, just because I really don't like the look of the safety bumpers. You know, this car should not have the safety bumpers, so I've just removed them. In case you're wondering, I have done one other modification to this car just before I got started as well, and that's the race suspension, just to lower this thing down and give it a perfect stance. Anyways, I'm also thinking we need to go for some big brakes. I'm thinking sport brakes. I would usually go for the racing brakes, but I think I'll go for sport brakes just because they're a little bit more in keeping with the whole sort of build aspect. As far as weight reduction, we won't do any of that. I might stiffen the car up a bit. What does... Oh, wow. That's kind of a cool little roll cage there, actually. I kind of like that. I'm not going to use it, but I do kind of like it. I am going to put the rigidity of this vehicle up a little bit. We'll go for the street chassis enforcement just to make this thing not so sort of wobbly on the road, make it a bit more sure of itself. Now, as far as tyres go, I think we'll go for some nice street legal tyres, and we will maximize the whips. We get two 2.5s on the front, and on the rear we get two 4.5s. Okay, this thing can actually have some relatively beefy tyres for its size. I'm quite amazed with that, actually. Do we want to change the rims? No, we don't. I think I had a look for the rims. None of them really suit it. Gearbox, we will go for a brand new race transmission. Now, of course, if it's a street car, you'd go for a street transmission, or at least that's what you'd think. However, because of the way the transmission works on this game, to get sort of a modern sort of 6-speed transmission, we do actually have to put the race one in. And we will actually put a sport differential in here as well, just so the power gets distributed a bit more evenly. Now let's get on to the power. We, of course, want a full race exhaust. Right, D-Class is... yeah. Do I build this thing up to D-Class? I think so. We will put some brand new camshafts into this for 165 horsepower. I'll also maybe upgrade the supercharger a bit. 180. I want about 190 out of this, so we will also go for some street pistons. Brings us up to 390 PI. I will put a street flywheel in here, and actually, while we are here, I'm actually going to put the sport front roll bars in, back and front, of course. That would just give the car, again, a little bit more of a sort of more modern suspension setup. I'll also put the driveline in here as well. We'll have a sport driveline. That also helps us get rid of some of the weight. We'll go for a street clutch as well while we're at it. Upgrade the clutch a bit. And I'm also going to go for a street intake, which gives us 188 horsepower. Now I just need to find a couple more horsepower. That puts it into C-Class, C-Class. Can any of these just sort of slightly nudge it a bit? Maybe the intercooler. Yeah, okay, so that gives us 2 horsepower, 190 horsepower, 180 pounds-feet of torque. That sounds good to me. I think that's about all I really want to do with our little 124. So I'll leave it at that. So we're not the full weight up the PI, but nevertheless, we are still pretty sorted. So once again, 190 horsepower, 180 pounds-feet, so that's pretty good. In fact, the statistics on this car look good as well. So we'll go for a nice close ratio transmission. 5 seconds to 60, that's pretty good. I'm going to fully lower down that ride height. Everything else can basically stay the same, I guess. Is there anything I really want to play with? Not particularly. I'll stiffen it up a little bit. Just so we can essentially make this car a little bit more sort of track orientated, I guess. Yeah, there we go. So anyways, our final statistics, 5.1 seconds to 60, which is pretty respectable. 15 seconds to 100, not quite as good, but still not too bad. And a top speed of 136 miles per hour. So there we go, that is our street-built Fiat 124 ready for the track, the 124 Evolution, if you will. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this. So we've basically got sort of modern-day sports car performance with a sort of classic body shell, if you will. Anyways, I'm thinking we will do 23 cars. Now, what track do we really want to go with? I want to go with somewhere Italian. Oh, I know where we can take this car. Let's take it to Rio, because Rio is a very scenic track. We shall go for the full circuit. Sure, we'll do 3 laps in this car, why not? And, yeah, hopefully we'll get put against some cars which sort of well suit the new... Right, let's just sort something out here. I really hate what they've done with the new Elgato thing. When you're recording, for whatever reason, the window will just show the full game, which is not really a good thing for me, because I kind of like to see sort of where my audio levels are out, whether my microphone's cutting out, you know, how the game audio is. I apologize if my mic's a bit quiet today. Hopefully it shows up fine on the video. It's just for whatever reason Elgato has a glitch where this microphone will go from really, really sensitive to really not sensitive at all. Which basically means I have to stick my face into it and shout, which isn't particularly good, shall we say. Okay, so it seems we've been put against some mixture of modern and not so modern cars. We will start in 24th place as per usual, just to make the racing a little bit more exciting. We've got an IDX Nismo next to us. Okay, that's a pretty decent benchmark. Still has that nice sort of raspy engine note that you'd expect from this car. Right, here we go. Okay. Does jump off the line quite nicely, this car. There we go, nice close ratio gearbox, constantly changing the gears. Not quite as crazy as it is in the racing truck, but still pretty good. Right, I'm actually kind of curious to see how we do through the corners. Now, of course, power-wise, compared to some of the vehicles on the track, we are not quite as strong. For example, that Sylvia has 250 horsepower, that Fairlady Z has almost 300. However, I guess we'll see if it... Ooh, okay. I've sort of ploughed into the back of a Renault. Have I made the front of my car slightly sad? I have. Sorry. Anyways. Right. That's a big, scary rally fighter in front of us. I don't really want that in front of me. Right. Again, as I suspected, straight line speed isn't great, but it is keeping up, which is kind of nice. Through the tunnel, what's it sound like? Sounds pretty basic. Sounds pretty much the same. I really wish that the supercharger whine would come through a bit more on this car, but unfortunately it does not. Right, on the brakes. Oh, that was a very good dive if I got slightly punted by the IDX there. Yeah, pretty solid car to drive, this one, actually. I'm enjoying myself. It's a fun little car. Even putting the power down like an idiot. Of course, this is only a D-Class car. But still, there's a bit of tyre squeal to let you sort of know what's going on. But it's a pretty easy car to drive, which is nice. Can I get up and around the 300ZX? No, Clio's going to block my way. Excellent, thank you, Renault. Right, come through here. Again, put as much power down as possible, and the car just not spinning the rear, which is nice. Right, coming down this lovely hill. I do love Rio. It's such a scenic place to go racing, and this is why I use it a lot in the music videos and channel trailers and so on. Just because it's really nice. You know, it has some awesome replay cameras around here, and it's just such a nice circuit to drive around. There you go, a bit of sliding there, nothing I can't control though. yeah, I am super impressed with my little Fiat Evolution build right now. And we make our way up the pack. Miura's been punted by a very expensive Ferrari. Let's just rewind that because I don't exactly want to bury my car into a Peugeot. Okay, S2000's gonna take a bunch of cars out. Well, that's a shame because I really wanted to have a race against the S2000, but never mind. Apparently the Peugeot wants me to go over here. Apparently everyone wants to... Okay, thank you everyone. I'm assuming you've damaged my car. Oh, no, it looks okay if you look at it from certain angles. Alright. Lotus Elise, I can imagine he doesn't weigh much more or much less than I do. Right. Through this corner, you can make up a decent amount of spaces through this corner because the AI is a little bit hesitant. Again, everyone just seems to be ramming everyone on this particular test drive, which is not particularly great. Alright, come on, little Fiat. Give me all of those 190 horsepowers you have. Okay, so it makes peak power around 6-9 RPM. Again, we may as well just shift when it gets to the red line because it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Alright, up towards a Neon SRT4. Okay, interesting car to go up against in our little Fiat, but there you go. Does happen every now and again. Right, on the brakes. Where is the Chrysler? He is way too far out. That IDX is following me through the field. Yeah, I think the IDX in this car is actually pretty comparable because, of course, we have... I assume will be similar sort of PIs. We have similar sorts of weight, similar amounts of power. Apparently the Chrysler wants me to go over there a bit. IDX wants a piece of my... on the inside. Let's see if he can make the move stick. He can. Hopefully should be able to cut back on the IDX in a minute though. Don't go into the back of the Dodge. Through the tyres. Not exactly really where I wanted to be there, but I guess that happens sometimes. Come on, Fiat. Come on, little Fiat. Do it for all the other Fiats. I do love my Fiats. I actually drive a Panda in real life, so yeah. I love my little Fiat love my little Fiat. Oh my god, thanks Chrysler, you twat bag. Ah, tosspot. Anyways, oh my god, we actually managed to get a Corvette. Okay, that's interesting because of course in sort of D-Class, the classic muscle cars can actually be pretty dominant because they have just so much power and straight line speed compared to cars like this one. But the Corvette, you know, I'm not quite sure what position he came from, but he's still not doing too badly. Right. And we're not doing too badly against him. He didn't completely munch us on the downhill, which is nice. He might have a go on the final straight, but we'll have to see what he does there. Right, through this corner, of course, the AI can get a little bit confused, so let's see what they do down here. On the brakes again. Heading towards the tyre wall. Just scraped it a little bit. That is going to probably give the Corvette some room. Indeed it is. Alright, Corvette is past. Get the cutback on the Corvette. Thank you, Lancia, you dingus. Come on, up the inside of the Focus. There we go. Right. Up into 6th place. If I can get a podium, I will be very happy. Again, another car has surprisingly come through the field with us as well. 205 T16. You know, that's kind of interesting. That car's done as many places as it can. Not quite sure what's in front. By the looks of it, it is going to win whatever's in front. But again, if I can make my way to the podium, I will be quite happy. Corvette, once again, is taking a look at me. Get round the Prowler. There we go. Nicely, nicely. Right, up into 5th place, which means the Peugeot is in 3rd, so I want to be aiming for that Peugeot. Again, this car is extremely nice to drive. Again, not really surprising, you know, what did I build up similar to this? The Sunbeam Tiger. You know, that great big V8 English roadster. It was very similar. That car was extremely nice to drive. I think the Tiger is a bit nicer to drive, however, I think the Fiat's a little bit more fun. A little bit more characterful as well. Alright, so we have the IDX again. Can I get over there and cover the inside? Indeed, I can cover the inside. Did scrape the wall a little bit. Visibility is a bit poor into the tunnel, admittedly, but, I mean, what do you expect? It is a tunnel. Right. Again, drop it down a gear, just rev that little engine out. There we go. Right, through this, I think through here is where I can be my fastest, because this car can just take so much corner speed. There we go. Bit of sideways action, but we are past the pug. Oh wow, we're actually right on the tail of the 2 leaders. We have a Mini Cooper. Again, you can break through this, sunshine, but I can go full flat out. Right. Come on, little Fiat. What is at the front? It's a G&X. Interesting. Buick Regal. Fighter of the Eagle. Wait, what? Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Shift into 6. I don't think this thing can actually do 135. The benchmark says 135. I assume we'll be topping out like 120. There we go. Oh my god. Oh, the inside of the Mini. Right, we are right on the tail of the big black monster. The big GNX. Let's see if we... Can the GNX be overtaken by a tiny little Fiat 124? Again, just to emphasize, he has 110 more horsepower than me. However, I do weigh a hell of a lot less. And he has left the door open. Mini is ramming me in the anus. But it is fine. I do have the track. The Regal's had a bit of a crash. Try not to have the crash myself through there. A little bit of a hop on the old tyre, or on the old curb there. Anyways, by the looks of it, I am going to claim victory, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, I definitely recommend having a go with the little 124. It is an extremely good little car, this one, if you build it correctly. Yeah, I am really impressed, actually, with the way this car is driving. It's great. There we go, shift up again. Of course, Speedo's utterly useless. The rev counter is slightly less useless. There we go, and across the line. Alright, best lap was a 2:49.636. Probably not the quickest, but yeah, that was kind of enjoyable. I do like my little 124. So yeah, make sure you have a go with this car yourself. Of course, this car pack is available now, and I do highly recommend it. Not only for the Fiat, but there is also a racing truck, an Isetta. Go buy it, go have fun with it. Anyways, friends, my name's been The Real Emile. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.